Hi friends, we bring greetings to you from Faith in Ministries. Children are the heartbeat of our ministry. We are raising up a new generation as the children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. We care for the children who are orphaned and impoverished, and we are shaping their lives by providing food, medical help, education, and the knowledge of Jesus Christ.
Love them so much. Thank you for your support.
We thank you so much for making such a great difference in their lives, and we thank you so much for all your support toward these kids. We thank you and God bless you.
Let it ready.
Here at Sound Church, we're an offering-based ministry, and we would love your support. Some of the things that this support would go towards is Brendan Brooks tonight. He actually came without any promise of money, so we would love to bless him. Another thing that it would go towards is Sound Church Ministries, and then also Faith India Ministry. We want to help them raise $10,000 to build an orphanage and a church. Here are 3 easy ways to give. Text any dollar amount to the number 425-689-7707. You can give on the Sound Church app. Just click on the donate button. Or you can give online at www.sound.church. Just look for the donate button.
That doesn't help me.
I know.
Thanks so much for being here with us tonight for the streaming house church service at Sound Church. I just want to invite you to stay connected with us throughout the week in one of 3 ways. Check out the website for all of the updated events and everything at www.sound.church, or grab the app. Search your favorite app store for any device you can imagine just about. Just search for Sound Church. And I'm talking iPhone, Android, Amazon, Windows Mobile, Apple TV, pretty much. We've got an app for everybody, so grab one of those. And also just make sure you keep in touch on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those by searching for Sound Church, all one word, at Sound Church. Thanks so much. God bless you guys. See you later. Hey, what's going on there? Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with us. This is the Sound Church Live We are available right now on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We're so stoked that you guys are with us. We've got a special guest here with us today. This is Brendan Brooks, here all the way from Wisconsin. He is a Nashville recording artist, and we're super stoked to be able to have him here right in the living room streaming live. So without any more delay, why don't you give it up here in the room if you're in our live audience. So if you would, give it up there online. Throw up a like, a smiley, a heart, whatever it is for whichever platform you're on, and throw some comments down and throw some love, and make sure you go tweet this guy on Twitter. We appreciate it. @BBrooksMusic is his Twitter handle. So here we go, guys. This is Brendan Brooks. Thanks so much.
Good evening, church. Yeah. Sin and darkness, His love is mighty, so much stronger. King of glory, King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder, leaves us breathless in awe and wonder. This talks about God as being a lion and a lamb. This next song is on the radio by Big Daddy Weave. It's one of my newest favorites. Absolutely. It's coming on the clouds, kings and kingdoms will bow down. Every chain will break, His broken hearts declare His praise. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Our God is the Lion of Judah. He's roaring with power, fighting our battles. Every knee will bow before Him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sin of the world. His blood breaks the chains. Every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. Every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. So open up the gates, make way before the King of God who's come to save, is here to set the captives free. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Our God is the sin of the world. His blood breaks the chains. And every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. And every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord? Our God is the Lion of Judah. He's roaring with power, fighting our battles. Every knee will bow before Him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sin of the world. His blood breaks the chains. And every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. And every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. The Lion and the Lamb. The Lion and the Lamb. Every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. I remember exactly where I was when I first heard this song by Laura Story, Mighty to Save. I was driving on the interstate in Chicago and I had XM radio going on. Heard it and it almost brought me to tears, and it takes a lot to get me to cry, but couldn't believe what I was hearing. I remember I listened to it 5 or 6 times over, and I'm like, I want that song. And so literally within a week I had it in my church and I was playing it before it barely even got to radio. Just love it, fell in love with it. So Mighty to Save. Everyone needs forgiveness, the kindness of a Savior, hope of nations. Savior, He can move the mountains. everything I believe in. Now I surrender. Sail through the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save forever. Author of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Shine your light and let the whole world see. We're singing for the glory of the risen King. Jesus, shine your light and let the whole world see. We're singing for the glory of the risen King. Savior, He can move the mountain. My God is mighty to save. Well, I discovered this song a few months ago when I was actually out here in Seattle. Someone gave me a mixed CD, a whole bunch of worship songs. It wasn't a new song at all. It had been put out about 5-6 years ago by a group called Planet Shakers. There's a song on there called Leave Me Astounded. And I just loved the title right off the get-go. And then heard it, and first time I wasn't that impressed, new music, and then I just kept listening to it over and over, and it sank in and absolutely love it. So, the song's called Leave Me Astounded. Most of you probably have not heard it, but it's all about God just wowing us every single day. So. All my hands have made, I'm laying down. And all that I hold dear, my many crowns. And I've tasted and seen of your great love. You satisfy me. You satisfy me. Spirit fall. Open up heaven's door. We're waiting with worship for more. You're the only one that satisfies me. Constant request above all things, and every hour I wait, be near me. Lord, taste it and see of your grace. Only open heaven's door. We're waiting with worship for more. You're the only one that satisfies me. Lord, we run into your loving arms. We're safe and secure in your love. You're the only one that satisfies me. Leave me astounded. Leave me astounded. In your almighty presence, Jesus, you leave me astounded.
Well, this next one's also near and dear to my heart because I wrote it. But I was in Missouri a couple years ago visiting family. And the idea of God's everywhere and that there's places in this world that have not even been touched by man yet came to mind. And just the magnificence of his creation out there and the vastness of it. Kind of wrapped all that up in a song. And he's worthy to be praised is the only thing that kept coming to mind. He's so worthy of our praise. So, it's the title of the song. It's the first radio single off my album. I'm going to sing it for you guys tonight.
There is a river that flows through the jungle, untapped by man, and echoes your name. Worthy to be praised. There is a mountain that stands along the ocean, the crashing waves carve out your face. Worthy to be praised. Holy Lord, heaven and earth cry. Holy Lord, hearts speak out your name. Worthy to be praised. There is an eagle that soars upon your every word. The skies obey, pour out your grace. Worthy to be praised. You soften hearts and shatter our sinful plans. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Worthy to be praised. Save, we sacrifice to you. Your name is holy, only you are worthy. You alone can only save, we it all to you. We give it all to you. Give it all to you. We give it all to you. We give it all to you. We give it all to you. Give it all to you. We give it all to you. Give it all to you. Give it all to you. You're worthy, Lord. You are worthy. You are worthy. Worthy to be praised.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time to get back to church, but it can be hard to know where to go. At Sound Church, you won't find perfect people or fancy programs, just a place to connect with God. Sound Church, no judging, no politics, just Jesus. Find out more at itstimeseattle.com.
Hi friends, we bring greetings to you from Faith in Ministries. Children are the heartbeat of our ministry. We are raising up a new generation as the children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. We care for the children who are orphaned and impoverished, and we are shaping their lives by providing food, medical help, education, and the knowledge of Jesus Christ.
We love them so much. Thank you for your support.
We thank you so much for making such a great difference in their lives, and we thank you so much for all your support toward these kids. We thank you and God bless you.
Here at Sound Church, we're an offering-based ministry, and we would love your support. Some of the things that this support would go towards is Brendan Brooks tonight. He actually came without any promise of money, so we would love to bless him. Another thing that it would go towards is Sound Church Ministries, and then also Faith India Ministry. We want to help them raise $10,000 to build an orphanage and a church. Here are 3 easy ways to give. Text any dollar amount to the number 425-689-7707. You can give on the Sound Church app. Just click on the donate button. Or you can give online at www.sound.church. Just look for the donate button.
That doesn't help me.
I know.
Thanks so much for being here with us tonight for the streaming house church service at Sound Church. I just want to invite you to stay connected with us throughout the week in one of 3 ways. Check out the website for all of the updated events and everything at www.sound.church, or grab the app. Search your favorite app store for any device you can imagine just about. Just search for Sound Church. And I'm talking iPhone, Android, Amazon, Windows Mobile, Apple TV, pretty much. We've got an app for everybody, so grab one of those. And also just make sure you keep in touch on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those by searching for Sound Church, all one word, at Sound Church. Thanks so much. God bless you guys. See you later.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us back here at Sound Church Live. And we just hope that you're having a great time with us. We are live right now on YouTube and on Facebook Live. And thanks for being here. We just got to listen to some great music, some great worship music from our new friend, Brendan Brooks. Brendan, thanks so much for being here with us. It's an honor. Where are you from?
I am from Wisconsin.
Awesome.
Don't hold that against me.
All the way from Wisconsin. We were talking earlier today about how we love cheese, and that's probably about all you know about Wisconsin, unless you live there. But Brendan's actually been doing quite a bit of music around town, right? And so you've got a new album. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I released an album last summer, and I guess it's not totally new now, but it's been absolutely awesome. It was actually the third album that I've worked on. I recorded 1.5 with the band I used to be in. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But it was my first solo project. I went to Nashville to get it done, and got to work with some amazing people. There's like all these cool names on the album, and then there's my name, and people are like, "Who's that?" But I'm here. Yeah, I got a picture of it. If you guys want to see, it's right here. You
Check
can
it
find
out.
It. Pretty much in all digital media and on my website.
I found it on Spotify, and I've been jamming it.
BrendanBrooksMusic.com. Yeah, it should be out there. So grab it if you like it. That last song that we played, if you guys did like it and you're attend some other church somewhere, just it is on CCLI. Your worship leader will know what CCLI is, so you can just say, hey, look up Brendan Brooks and get some of his music.
You can just tell him any random number of letters, and he'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
LMNOP.
He'll know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So I encourage you guys, go ahead and grab that music when you get a chance. So we had been talking for a while, kind of as we were getting this together. And actually, I say it's a while. It's not really a while. This was sort of last minute.
Within
last
4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days, we figured out that he was available and that he wanted to come and be with us, and so we're glad about that. But one of the things that I was really intrigued by was the experience that you said you had with another band. And I guess you guys were going to be on tour with Matt Redman, and that somehow didn't happen.
So I'm going to rewind a little bit. Back in 2007, I got a call from...
Going way back.
Yeah, it's 10 years now. I got a call from a complete stranger. And granted, in my neck of the woods, which is very rural, there are very few complete strangers because everyone knows everybody. And there's like 5 last names, one of those sort of places. But he started calling around the local churches trying to find younger guys that would want to start a band with him. And someone gave him my name and a referral. Eventually, he called me, and I said, absolutely. And I even said that without even asking my wife first. But... So we started a 4-piece group. He already had a drummer, and we both actually knew a mutual guitar player, another guitar player. And so we started gigging, and like immediately went in the studio, a little small studio nearby, and we started recording our first album. And we had just released it, and we were doing very, very well. We were on over 30 Christian radio stations across the Midwest, and we're booking shows left and right. And our other guitar player, he was a computer genius, literally a genius. And he just kept sending our music everywhere, like in Nashville. And we had some interest in Atlantic Records and other places. And we actually got a contract from a place down there that wanted us to go on tour with Matt Redman. And for those of you in the Christian industry know Matt Redman. He's up there. So I got a phone call. I was actually at a funeral, family member, and I hate to say that I was extremely excited at this funeral, but I got the phone call that, hey, let's move to Nashville because that's where the tour bus would be leaving. Let's go full time. And we'd been working 2 years for this, and we were about ready to start. Actually, we were in the studio. We were in the studio recording our second album. And we had a band meeting after that, and I'm thinking, all right, this is going to happen. And the guy that started the group and our lead singer, he just shows up, no bass guitar, and he's just like, it's too big a risk for me. I'm done. What? And it was just like, literally 2 days before that, we had ordered 1,000 CDs, and that was already paid for, for the most part out of my pocket, and there was no getting that reimbursed. And
did those become coasters? Frisbees? Did you sell some?
I still have cases of them in my basement. Yeah.
Can I have one?
Maybe.
If people tweet about you, can they get one?
Yes. Yeah. So it was just like a huge setback. Now, prior to that, the band was kind of going in different directions than I wanted to go, and I say that because we started out more as a praise and worship, little on the heavier side. And it started turning into more rock, and the guys were wanting more performance side rather than ministry side. Now, I've been a worship leader for 15 years, and ministry is just a huge part of what I wanted to do. And so emotionally, I was struggling so much because it's like I felt like God put me there for that reason, and that it was just me getting in the way of what he wanted, and it was just, but it was actually just the opposite. I kept pushing forward and pushing because I was dedicated to it, both financially, time, and everything. And all of a sudden, he just pulled the rug out and he said, "You know what? You've done enough. You've done enough. I am not going to let you go down this road because it's gonna hurt you in the long run." And at first, I was devastated. I just was like, doors have been opening up like crazy, and why now? So it kind of put the whole music thing on the back burner. And a couple years ago, God just kept nagging at me. He's like, "You know what? You need to start doing something with your music again." And through that, I went to just a simple Christian music competition in Chicago, which took me to a conference down in Florida. Next day, I got this call from this complete stranger from Nashville. It took me down to there, and through that, I've been able to make some amazing contacts. And all the way from Wisconsin, I'm out here with you guys. So,
Wow. Unreal, man. That's crazy. I know that we've had, I would say like the vast, large swath of people who are part of our ministry. There's a bunch of people here in the room, as well as like lots of people who we connect with on the internet. But I would say vast majority of the Sound Church kind of tribe are people who've come from places of real serious disappointment. And I would say almost all of you, if you guys are here in the room, I'm looking at a lot of you, and I know this is true of many of you, you've maybe even had some experience in the past where your hurt didn't just come from outside the church, but it came from within the church, where maybe you were hurt by a pastor, or you were hurt by promises about, somebody said God works this way, and you discovered he doesn't, he works that way instead. I'd be kind of curious to know, like, what your struggles have been with that.
Oh, yes. Struggles within the church, absolutely. I started playing guitar as a teenager, and I was going to youth group at the time. Within me teaching myself, within 4 to 5 months, my pastor's like, he's like, "You're gonna start playing in the youth group." And I'm like, "I can't do that." There was no music program, nothing like that. And he just kept pushing, and I was like one to stand in the corner. I did not want attention at all. But I don't know. I still don't know how he talked me into it. So I started playing. And even yet today, I'm going on a side trail, but that 18 years ago, I'm still in the same youth group, playing music for the kids. Wow. And now I have a whole worship team of kids I deal with. But
so kids that were being born then are like leaders in the youth group now?
Yeah. It's really cool.
Let your mind be blown by that.
Yeah. And so I started doing that at the same time that the regular worship Sunday morning, went from like the old style piano to there being a drummer, then playing with a piano, and then they formed a whole worship team. And after a couple years, I was invited to play with them. I was probably already an adult at that time. And first time I went, I was a nervous wreck because I'm like, they're gonna know all these chords that I have never even heard of. And so I had like this music book for dummies that I brought with me the first practice. I didn't even open it. Didn't need to. It was actually more simple than I thought. But so I started playing with them, and after like 3 years, the leader at the time, he literally came to me and said, "I no longer want you playing. You aren't good enough." And I'd already been playing with them for like 3-4 years.
That's rough.
And it was a huge setback. And I still did. They're like, "Well, you can play bass. You just play bass." So for a couple years I played bass, and then that worship leader moved out. But because we had so many guitar players, I stuck to bass, and I did learn to enjoy it. Granted, as a bass. Sorry, I know that
there's lots of jokes about bass players coming to mind.
There's a lot of jokes. I'll just keep to that. But
all the bass players in the corner are like, hey,
sorry guys,
hey.
It's hard to play bass and sing at the same time. But it was a huge setback for me just emotionally because I'd already established myself in the group, I thought, and then just to have this another, like I said, rug earlier pulled out from underneath me, and to have someone that I looked up to say I'm not good enough when he didn't even play an instrument himself, he just sang. It really hurt. It really hurt, and I guess it didn't take long for me to get over that because of all the doors that God was opening. But it hurt a lot. So yeah. I mean, I know that that's something that a lot of people really struggle with, and I have a
a mentor of mine years ago, I remember, used to say this. You say it's okay to be hurt, but it's not okay to stay hurt. And, I think a lot of times that, we find ourselves in a place where we've gone through some sort of issue like that, where somebody hurt you, said something about you, said something to you, stabbed you in the back, whatever it is. And that will always hurt. The saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. It's a big lie, right? Words do hurt, and I think they hurt a lot worse sometimes. Yeah. But what kind of stuff have you been able to try to work through to kind of say, well, this is how I can move on, and maybe that would help some of us?
Well, what really helped is because within like half a year, he moved on to a total he moved like 300 miles away. So
that always helps.
For me, that
make him move.
Yeah, for me, that hurtful conversation, it kind of, it literally alleviated himself. But since I've been doing the solo work, God has just not only just blessed me in my ministry, but the peace that I have over what I'm doing and realizing, this is what I am supposed to be doing. And it's been unbelievable, because it's like all these things I missed before, and when my heart was like tied in a knot, because it's like, I don't want to say that, I don't want to do that, and now it's just the freedom to be myself, I guess, has really come out. So ever since then, and it actually made me stronger, because I don't want to say I practiced anymore, but it's like someone told me I wasn't good enough. I'm going to prove them wrong. That kind of a thing. And I don't know if he even looks at me online at all and see everything I'm doing, but that's water under the bridge.
Right.
If he showed up here tonight, I'd give him a big hug. Just what we have in the past. So
that's key right there, right? Is you have to kind of let go and forgive, and let the bygones be bygone. Yeah. Water under the bridge. That's super good. Yeah, because I've obviously when there's somebody that you trust or rely upon, and they do something that's that kind of hurtful, that's really hard to get over. It's not something that you take over lightly. I mean, you think about people who go through issues of abuse with their own parents or something. When it's somebody you respect and admire, it's very similar. Very similar to that. So what kind of stuff are you doing nowadays? Like, what are you doing to keep busy?
Oh my. Well, ever since I released the album, I've been extremely busy. I travel around to a lot of churches, and last half year I've been getting involved in drug and alcohol addiction groups. And that kind of started. I got to open up for Sidewalk Prophets last August, so woo-hoo, that was great. Granted, it was a one-time shot deal. They probably forgot who I was by now. But usually when I'm on stage in front of a lot of people, I announce, if there's any churches, groups, anything that you want me to come and speak or play for, come see me afterwards. And after that show, I had two groups come and approach me and say, "We want you to come speak." And I'm like, I grew up in a Christian home, and I wasn't allowed to do anything when I was younger, seriously. And so it's like, how in the world can I talk to someone that's been addicted to drugs when I've never even touched them? Well, I've never done them. We'll put it that way. I used to be side story. I used to be a police officer, so I confiscated a lot of that stuff. But I've never actually, done anything like that. And I'm like, how in the world can I witness to these guys and have a ministry out of it? But I tell you what, those people were awesome. It was almost, I don't want to say it was almost easier to speak to them than it is at churches, because they already come to a spot where their hearts had been broken. And that's why I named my album Broken. And I realized that most of my songs have to do with that, once heartbreaking, then coming back to God for forgiveness. And so after my first meeting, it opened up a whole network of meetings now. So now I do a lot of drug and alcohol group meetings, and not because I'm recovering from anything like that, but because God's like, that's where your ministry is. Those people need to hear something positive. So yeah,
that's crazy. And I mean, I think oftentimes there's people who maybe feel discounted because they haven't experienced that. Yeah. So like, I have one of those really dramatic upbringings that will make you cry, and we don't have time for that. But like, my wife Christina, she had like a really good upbringing, like a great loving home, Christian family, Christian upbringing, and that kind of stuff. And so I know that people like her, people like yourself, and maybe some of you who are watching, you kind of feel, well, how am I supposed to relate to somebody who's been hurt and broken like that? I don't have that good testimony, and maybe you're tempted to go do something stupid tonight so you can have a testimony. Don't do that. Okay.
No.
Don't do that.
I used to want that when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
It was like, I went to youth camp, and there was all these kids that they had like an open mic night, and they went up and they talked about everything that, drugs and alcohol that they've been rescued from. And it's like, I want a powerful testimony like that. Mine's like, I was 5 years old. My dad was an elder to the church, and it's like, but I realized that my testimony is now that God saved me from all that, and now He can use that to bless others. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, God wants to use all kinds of testimonies, and so you don't have to try to fabricate something for God to use your story. And that's something that's really important for each of us to know, is that, your story is something that's important for other people to hear. Yeah. I thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Is there anything else that you want to share with us this evening?
When I was in the band, one of the first shows we did, we had like a question and answer time afterwards, and one of the first questions was, "What's your favorite scripture?" All right, now when I had that thrown at me, I just drew a blank. I went to a private school for high school, and all the memory verses that I memorized just went out the window. And what I say, John 3:16, the one that everyone knows. So after that, I'm like, I gotta find a scripture that matches my ministry, and so. Mine comes from 1 Peter 4:10, and it says, "Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms." Now, a lot of people look at like churches and think, pastor's up here and the janitor's down here. But tell you what, when you go to the bathroom and there's no toilet paper, did that janitor serve you? And so even if your gift is in that janitor's position, you are just as important to God as that pastor position and everywhere in between. So God doesn't call everyone to be pastors, and He doesn't call everyone to be janitors. However, God called you to do something in His ministry, and you can use it to bless Him, and He will honestly bless you through that. So,
wow, that's killer. And you could be lucky and be like me and be the pastor and the janitor someday. But
yeah, that's why you have kids, though.
That is true. That's true. I've got 5. He's almost there. He's got 4. It's a promising start. I'm proud of you. No, we're so thankful for you, and we'll be praying for you, for your family, and we'll be supporting your ministry ongoing. So we do want to encourage everybody who's participating with us. If you're here tonight in the room or online, if you would do us a favor and go ahead and throw a gift towards Brendan and his ministry, we really want to make sure that his needs are being met. And
my kids are starving.
His kids are starving. I saw pictures. They're really skinny. So please give them money so they can eat. We would appreciate it. No, and it's really easy to do that. We're going to have a video here that explains all of it, but the easiest and simplest way is just go to the website, sound.church, look for the donate button. Go to sound.church. You don't need a .com or .org because we're cool and modern and trendy. Sound.church. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you to all of our studio audience. Everybody say, what's up, what's up, what's up? Cool, you guys. So then we're gonna cut it off right here for the live stream, and we can't thank you enough. Please tune in next week and stay tuned. We've got a couple of important messages we want to share with you about how to give and about our series that's coming up next week, Soul Detox. God bless you guys, and we'll catch you later. Let's kick it.
It's time.
It's time. It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time to get back to church, but it can be hard to know where to go. At Sound Church, you won't find perfect people or fancy programs, just a place to connect with God. Sound Church, no judging, no politics, just Jesus. Find out more at itsTimeSeattle.com.
Hi friends, we bring greetings to you from Faith in Ministries. Children are the heartbeat of our ministry. We are raising up a new generation as the children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. We care for the children who are orphaned and impoverished, and we are shaping their lives by providing food, medical help, education, and the knowledge of Jesus Christ.
We love them so much. Thank you for your support.
We thank you so much for making such a great difference in their lives, and we thank you so much for all your support toward these kids. We thank you, and God bless you.